What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So we're about to go to North Carolina and see what's going on here, a little aftermath and things like that. People are out there struggling. They're out there, of course, worried, stressed out, definitely trying to figure things out. Our government's moving too damn slow, to be honest with you out here. It's really laughable. It really is. And yeah, people are hugely concerned, and I get it. It is what it is, and especially with another storm coming up. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Fox News alerts the Southeast is picking up the pieces after Helene killed more than 230 people, making it the deadliest hurricane to hit our mainland since Katrina.
Damn.
Right. The Biden-Harris administration sending 500 more active duty troops to hard-hit North Carolina, bringing the total to 1,500 as thousands are still waking up without power.
Lawrence is live in North Carolina with a firsthand look of the destruction. Lawrence, what has it been like over the course of the past day or so for you?
Hey, good morning, family. It's really hard to describe because it's something that you would typically look at in some movie or you hear reports about it, but when you really get here on the ground, you see just devastation like none other. Right behind me, it used to be a car repair shop. And as you can see, there's one car right here, but you see other cars that are inside of the building that are just smashed together. And to the left of me used to be a mattress shop, and it's not even visible. At first, it took us going to Google Maps to figure out what the business is. The people here are struggling. There's questions about the response here so far. And, I always tell people, I'm not going to disagree with administration when they say FEMA is here. The problem is the residents aren't seeing them right now. But just a big undertaking from the people coming together here, businesses coming together, Samaritan's Purse who is on the ground. So where the government hasn't been here, you've seen the community come together, guys.
I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. When did we start actually allowing our correspondents and our news anchors to show tattoos?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
I mean, what are we doing? Like, I expect a certain level of professionalism from our news teams and things like that, or in the major news networks and stuff like that. We're getting way too relaxed. I'm sorry, guys, but we are. It just is what it is.
It's always the case. It's often the case. It's all too often the case, Lawrence, these days when it comes to some crisis. You look to your neighbor. Sadly, we can't look to our leaders. And I know that you spoke to many of those neighbors, many of those people in North Carolina over the last couple of days. Here it is.
We never thought it would hit up here in these mountains like this. But when we walked down and seen that road gone and that bridge gone, I mean, it took my breath. I was like, what happened?
Lots of disaster in this area, a lot dead, a lot without power and water. We don't know when the water will be restored. I don't have either right now.
My son hiked 5 miles to get me. We went through all the devastation of, there were no roads, there were no homes, there was nothing.
Just so much damage. It's been somewhat overwhelming. We feel like we're in a war zone.
And I've experienced guys coming up here from other cities packing up this free stuff that they are sending us, saying they're going to sell it. All donated goods for us. I mean, there's places that like.
What is that? What she's saying, that there's people coming up there to get the goods that are being donated to them that they need. They actually are in dire straits, and they need those goods and foods and things like that, and they're taking them off and selling them someplace else. What the fuck is that?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
What is that? And if y'all pay attention out here, when you get major disasters like this, law enforcement is obsolete at this point, because they're somewhere actually helping to take care of their own families too as well. So we have to think about these things long term when we have these huge natural disasters like this.
Lost their homes. There's families that lost everything they had.
People have drove up and they saw what we've got, and they've just covered their face in their hands, sobbing that they were able to find something to eat, something for their babies.
It's such an outreach from around the country. I mean, folks from all states coming in, and they're just helping us and bringing supplies in, truckload after truckload.
So if anybody needs it, we're here. And we will, as long as we have supplies, we will be here for the long haul.
I think that our government can do more. Because we're going to need the help. There's roads gone. There's, it's going to take a lot to rebuild us.
Yeah, that's what Biden said. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of time. But we're going to need the people of America to help these people out here. But Biden, I thought that's what the fuck FEMA was for. I mean, am I wrong? Hold on. I could be wrong.
You can't make this shit up.
But I forgot. Y'all took all the FEMA money and decided to use it for the illegal people and things like that, and high-rise hotels and all this other type of crap. This is crazy.
There's so much more that could be done, and giving us $750 if you can even apply for it is ridiculous. And I've only heard of a handful of people getting approved. $750 isn't going to do anything, even if you do get approved.
Right. $750 with a disaster like this. Be honest with you though, where I was located during Katrina and things like that, I was right there in the storm too, where we were at. From Louisiana all up through Mississippi, all this area, stuff like that. It got hit tremendously. We got way more money doing Katrina out here than they're getting right now.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And I'm like, how are y'all just going to do these people like this? Now, it's no more money in FEMA. Jesus Christ.
Not with the damage we're seeing, not with the hurting that people are going through right now.
Where is the help for Western North Carolina? We can send billions to Ukraine, and we can't help Western North Carolina. We have spent all of this money on all of these people crossing our borders that are open. And now we're telling the people of America, the U.S., that need the money, we can't give you no money. That's our money. We pay it in, we work, and we should receive some benefit from the government with our own money. It's just not right. The people of Western North Carolina that are hit hard should not be suffering like this.
I don't think she's doing enough. And I don't think Biden's doing enough either. I'm sorry, I don't. Because I heard on the radio myself, so it ain't hearsay, Biden said, what storm?
Everybody I talk to, it's pretty much a slap in the face. We're not getting the support from her, from the president, the sitting president. We're just kind of having to suffer through it and figure it out on our own.
I would say to Kamala Harris, this tragedy did not happen in a nice neighborhood downtown Asheville. Step out, get your rain boots on, get your mud boots on, your gloves on, and go out there and walk through what I hiked through for 2.5 miles to get back to Asheville, to get back to my family. You hike it. Then you tell me what it's like. You step it up. You're up your game.
You know good and damn well Kamala ain't finna get out there and hack shit. Oh my goodness. She not finna put them little decrepit Indian toes out there and do nothing. Yeah, y'all can miss me with that. Yeah, Kamala ain't, she's not FBA, she's not black, she's not none of that. So, don't even come at me sideways with that. No. Yeah, she's an Indian. Shout out to all my Indian people. Mad love to y'all. It's no slight. It's no beef or nothing like that. I love all people and all races of the world. But she not finna sit here and play me like she a black African American out here. I don't know what you talking about. That ain't finna go down.
President Trump will do a lot. He's gonna help us.
He's definitely showing up, and he's making it known that he knows what's going on and that he wants to help.
We don't want to hand out. We want to hand up. And that's what Trump's going to do for us. We got to get him back in there.
Some powerful words. Let's bring in Richard King. He's the owner of Pure and Proper. Richard, for our audience, that aren't here on the ground, they say it's been over a week and things must be going well. As someone that's from here, that is on the ground here, can you describe what it's like here right now?
It's hard to describe it. When I've tried to tell people who don't live here or haven't been in some of the areas that I've been in, you can't exaggerate the story enough for people to get a feeling of what it's like. It's impossible to explain to people over the phone. It's just like it's trying to explain a rock concert. Like some of that stuff, you just have to be there. You have to feel it, and you just can't exaggerate the story enough for people to take that in.
What are some of the things that you guys are dealing with right now? I know even this morning right now, there's still areas with no power. People still need water. Is that just the start of the issues here right now?
Yeah, there's no water. We live in Black Mountain, just 10 minutes up the road. Still no water in most of in probably 90% of that area. And even when we do get water, which they're saying in a few days, we're going to be under a boiler advisory for a long time. So it's not like you can just start brushing your teeth and drinking all that. Restaurants are struggling because they need to boil that water and cook that water. It just makes.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. As a 20-year chef in the game out here, no, those restaurants, strict health codes. Just to be honest with you, they can't open at all. At all. No. You cannot open those restaurants and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that those restaurants, I'm pretty sure you could probably still cook there and stuff like that, but the water is going to be unusable like that on a boil water alert. Now, whatever food they bring in and stuff like that, if they may have to heat some things up, you can use the stoves and stuff like that to heat things up. But no, the water is going to be decrepit. I guarantee you.
Creates a whole nother issue because you can't have an outbreak. You can't have, amongst all the problems that we're dealing with, you can't have someone getting sick over, things like that. So we're in this, it's going to be a long road.
You're not a political guy. You just have been stepping up to help your fellow neighbors, providing food for folks. What's the response been like here on the ground? What are people telling you? Do they need more? What's the overall vibe here?
Honestly, I mean, what we're doing is we're pulling restaurants and culinary people together to create a place for them to cook. Because we got cooks and dishwashers and people that are sitting at home, and I'm like, no, let's get to work. Let's get after it. Let's serve other people. And the response from church.
Now, you can't tell me chefs and cooks and all these ain't important out here. Can't tell me that. As much, like I told you, I'm 20 years in the culinary game out here. You can't tell me as much as you Americans like to go out to eat nowadays, because half y'all bats can't cook out here. I'm just being honest. Half y'all can't cook. Those that can barely want to anymore. Cooking at home is not a huge thing like it used to be back in the day. So, you need chefs and stuff. So, yeah, don't underestimate chefs out here, because we saving y'all lives out here every day by cooking y'all food. Real talk.
You own dish-eyed food.
Churches in the area, places like Valley Hope and Swan Oak Christian, Black Mountain Presbyterian, they've all been pulling together and just, I mean, it's incredible to see what they're doing. And, we're not waiting on help. We're creating the help. And so that's what we're doing. And it's beautiful. I understand the situation, but it's beautiful to see these people just get after it. I know people in this area, they're Appalachian people, they kind of the butt of a lot of jokes, but these are the people that you want in your corner when this kind of stuff goes down, because they are ready to get after it. They're ready. They got a chainsaw, they got a traco, they got some sort of piece of equipment. They're ready to use it, and they're not waiting for someone to come and cut the tree down. They're cutting the tree down. They're helping their neighbor. And,
Right. That's the men out there that know what to do out here with chainsaws and trucks and stuff like that. That's the men that get underestimated nowadays. Oh man, who wants to deal with them a dude like that knows how to actually cut a tree down and build something? Okay, yeah, that's the men that underestimated right there. Yeah. Shout out to those men out there with their chainsaws and ready to do some real work out here.
It sounds cliche, but it really is just a grassroots community effort to get stuff done to get it better.
And we've been saying it, brother. Thank you so much for giving me some time this morning. We're praying for you guys.
Thank you.
And guys, that's the story that we continue to hear on the ground is of not waiting, that they're going to step up to help their neighbors. They're not going to wait on the government to come to the rescue. And we've been seeing them out here in force, guys.
Yeah. These stories are so sad to hear. He owns a restaurant. How's his restaurant doing, Lawrence?
So his house was not destroyed. And so that's why he kind of just decided to pack up the stuff and keep people fed. And, he says he feels blessed, and him and his wife and their family feel so blessed. So they want to keep the first responders fed as well as the residents that need a bite to eat.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, it's amazing too. Different stories about people saying that, FEMA's there, but they're not getting a lot of the supplies. This woman, Chelsea Atkins, to the New York Post, said, FEMA called me, said they want to inspect my house. I said, all right. Said, I can't come in. The road's closed. I said, just drive around the sign. That's what I've been doing. He goes, I'm not allowed to do that. So when this whole thing started, they couldn't get to people and they just stood. They needed helicopters. So where are the helicopters? An hour away in Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty. They never called for a week. They could have been there last Monday. Instead, they got a call on Friday. So if you're not using the military, and if it's hard to get to these mountainous areas because you need helicopters, why would you not call the military? Is anyone not working in the Harris campaign? Is anyone left in the White House to say, wait a second, we could help FEMA with some resources?
If you're on social media, you can see all these videos of people posting saying FEMA is nowhere to be seen. We don't have the help we need. Someone wrote me from Charlotte, North Carolina. Her brother's a builder in the area, and he packed up his truck with another friend, and they went into the mountains of North Carolina to help out. And they said they never saw FEMA, but a local builder in the town that they went to was helping out and kind of organizing everything. They were going to Home Depot, getting supplies, taking it to family.
Man, this is a bad look right here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is a bad look. I don't care what nobody's saying out here. This is a bad look for America right now. The land of the free and the home of the brave and shit. Right. Oh, yeah. I know y'all ain't heard that in a long time. Yeah, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yeah. It seems like that the citizens have to be the brave ones when our government has been flying all these bats in, giving them all the cash. Now we got these storms popping up. One of the biggest storms that has happened since Katrina, and here we go. All this bad activity around here.
Trying to clear roads for families to be able to reach their loved ones.
Well, Deanna Criswell, who is the administrator of FEMA, says a lot of this criticism amounts to disinformation, and it's dangerous.
Let's talk about some of the misinformation that is out there, including these claims from former President Trump that FEMA is about $1 billion short because money has been going to undocumented immigrants. Also, that the areas of the Republican areas of the state are being intentionally ignored in some fashion.
Lord, here we go. This dude again. He interviewed Senator Bryan, the black guy. And Jesus Christ, he tried to get on him, but Senator Bryan held his own. Let's keep going. Let's see what he got going on here now.
It's frankly ridiculous and just plain false. This kind of rhetoric is not helpful to people. It's really a shame that we're putting politics ahead of helping people, and that's what we're here to do. We've had the complete support of the state. We've had the local officials helping to push back on this dangerous, truly dangerous narrative that is creating this fear of trying to reach out and help us or to register for help. It has a tremendous impact on the comfort level of our own employees to be able to go out there.
Guys, can I just set it up this way? I'm not going to say they aren't here. All right, I'll give her that. I'm not going to say that. But what I can say is the residents say they don't see them. I mean, what is worse? What is worse for you to be on the ground and residents not see you, or you to be on the ground and actually not do any work at all for the people here on the ground? So, I mean, I understand their plea. I don't want any of these workers to be harmed in any way. But when you see Samaritan Purse and private organizations that are here on the ground, you wonder why FEMA is not right there with them. What if these private organizations weren't on the ground? And what I hear constantly from these organizations over and over again is that the government in many cases is making it harder for them to do their job. You think the people that we spoke to yesterday care about politics right now? They just lost their homes. They don't have running water. The last thing they care about is the next presidential election, guys.
Right. And that's the truth on the matter right there. And that's the reason why I think, hold on, I think, and this is my theory, I think that they're lacking and moving slowly on trying to help these people get back to a situation at least decent enough to where they can vote when it comes up time to vote real soon here.
So what the French toast is there to think
They're
about?
knocking a certain stigma out the box. You know, and it's just my theory here. You know, it is what it is. But I'm really thinking this because, listen, look, this is a huge population that has been hit by this storm. And this is a huge population of voters that cannot vote at this moment because they're so distracted and they're so distraught and they're so in dire straits that they don't have time to worry about the election. All they have time for is to worry about what's going on right here, right now. Their homes is gone. They don't have proper food and water. They don't have proper amenities to even take baths, to brush their teeth, to do anything that's a humane situation. Children are starving out there. There's barely ways to get around because of the trees and everything like that. That's the reason why the local men out there, shout out to those men out there. My bad, wrong one. My bad on that. But shout out to those men out there that are actually, putting in the effort and things like that to help clear up with their own personal equipment. Yes, this is wild out here. This is wild. And it's truly disrespectful that we have a situation with our government that they've, moved funds around that's actually needed for these types of situations and shit. It's crazy. And it's highly disrespectful. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.